core exercises of all time, I think this will get the most stimulation out of any of the core exercises that you do, is going to be the ab roller. Now, one of these pieces of equipment, you can see the roller. You can also use a barbell if you want to. You can just attach some plates onto a barbell and it will still roll in the same type of format. But one of these ab rollers are probably like 20 bucks at your local store. You can grab them at like a TJ Maxx, a Winners, a Marshalls, and any little equipment store. You'll find one of these, and oh, this is so worth the investment. So let's break down this exercise, how we're gonna do it. Typically I have a mat because my knees, I'm an old man, I get sore. Nonetheless, we won't let the old man in today. And I would start with a smaller elevated surface. So if you just have just a basic mat that is just flat on the ground, the reason why I'm using some elevation is to increase the difficulty of the ab roller itself. But nonetheless, all these principles are very still similar in fashion. So when we go, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna roll my knees just a bit, as close as I can to the edge of the mat here, just so that I'm not leaning on top of it. It doesn't really matter in this case, but because it's elevated, I wanna try and make sure I'm not leaning anything onto this part of the mat. What's gonna happen is I'm going to just work on so when you're going through this motion, a lot of your strength is gonna come from your forearms and the front of your shoulders. And what's gonna need to happen is you're gonna have to try and hunch over a bit. Okay, the reason why I say hunch over a bit is because when we extend out, sometimes we won't feel the full engagement. We'll just feel like our arms and our shoulders are just doing the work the whole time instead of our core doing the work. And what we want to do is when we extend, we want to pull back in using our core muscles and not our shoulder muscles. So when we extend out here, I'm going to go extend out. My feet are going to be back here together. You can lay them flat if you want. I personally think you're going to get more tension if you lift them off, but some people have contrary beliefs. Nonetheless, we're going to roll down. We're going to go nice and slow, come out to almost full extension or wherever your full extension is, and then we're going to come back out. Now, you see I didn't roll always back here. Now, if you're just beginning this exercise, it's going to be a tough exercise, so you can roll back here. But once you start to get good at this exercise, what I want you to try is only rolling halfway through so we can keep that tension in our core the whole time. So we're going to extend fully out. Right about here, we're going to come back out, and you should feel like my arms are just in front of my core. So I'm going to show you from the side here so we can see that full entire extension here. I'm going to be here. You're going to see me roll out, dip my head in between, come back in. Okay, you can see the hunch in my back here. So I'm keeping my core tight. Here, back, out, back, out, back. Okay, now we're going to feel it in our core more rather than us just going like this. Okay, if we just go back and forth, we're not going to feel it. Also, if we want to extend the amount of time during our rep, what I would try and have you do is go nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. Brace, brace, brace. And then come back up. Here, out, out, out. And brace. Okay, but really remember that tucking of the shoulders. I know it doesn't look like or feel like perfect form. We feel like a hunchback when we're doing it, but it's going to help us tuck our belly a little bit more when we get that full extension and keep our core tight, and then make sure we're only going about halfway through. Good luck, have fun, keep your core tight, make sure keep that lower back tight. It will be a little bit difficult at first, and that's okay, and you can just start with the extension portion first before you start to get good at really pulling it back in.